内が命。久しぶりだな、サスケ。
I was trying not to let my history teacher, Mr. Wilson, see how bored I was as he droned on and on about World War I. As soon as the bell went, I pushed back my chair and I was out of that classroom in a flash. I couldn't wait to get home. The minute I walked through my front door, I shouted to my mom, "Mom, I'm home. Come and help me get out of this thing." My mom came through the kitchen where she'd been preparing dinner.
Okay, hold on.
I turned around and my mom unzipped the back of my suit. I stepped out of it, revealing my true height. I'm actually only 4 feet tall. But before I tell you the rest of this crazy story, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell too, because you definitely don't want to miss out on any more stories like mine. I had a difficult childhood. It wasn't too bad when I was really young because all of my friends were small too. But as the years went by, my friends all started getting taller and taller. But I didn't grow. Of course, my parents took me to see lots of doctors and specialists, but no one could tell them why I wasn't growing. I definitely didn't have any medical condition that was causing it, so basically there wasn't anything they could give me to help. In the end, my parents told me that it was just something I was gonna have to accept. But it was easy for them to say that. They weren't the ones who had to put up with the constant teasing. Everywhere I went, it was the same old story.
Hey, Shorty, need some help getting onto that chair?
Why are you so small? Don't your parents feed you?
Whenever I went into town, people just stopped and stared. It was so embarrassing. But the worst thing of all was having to buy all of my clothes in the little kids section. Nearly every outfit I owned had some kind of Disney character on it. When I saw the clothes the other girls were wearing, I was so jealous. It's not fair. Why do I have to be so small? When I was at my old school, I didn't use a suit. There really wasn't any point because everyone there already knew that I was short. We'd all grown up together, so I couldn't pretend to be a normal height like them. Even though my life was pretty miserable, there was one thing, or well, should I say one person, that made me happy to be alive. His name was Robbie. We'd been friends for a long time, but what he didn't know was that I had a secret crush on him. From the moment I set my eyes on him, I was smitten. We would hang out at the park together on weekends, playing ball and eating picnics. He was so much fun, but he never showed any feelings towards me. The more and more time I spent with him, the more I fell in love with him. Until eventually, I couldn't keep it inside any longer. I decided that I was going to have to confess how I really felt. I waited until we were all alone and I took a deep breath. Robbie, I have something to tell you.
What?
Well, you know how we're really good friends?
Yes.
And, you know how we always hang out together?
Yes?
Well, it's just that
Come on, Sarah, spit it out.
I kind of got a crush on you. I waited to see his reaction. In my dreams, I'd imagined him sweeping me up into his arms and declaring undying love for me. But sadly, that wasn't what happened.
Oh, Sarah, I'm sorry. You're just too young for me.
I looked at him in shock. What are you talking about? We're the same age. Now it was his turn to look shocked.
What? No way. I thought you were a toddler.
I couldn't believe it when he said that. I felt like my heart was broken into two. I was mortified. I didn't want to wait around to hear any more from him. I've gotta go. See you. I ran off in the opposite direction as fast as I could. When I got home, I went straight to my room and lay on my bed sobbing. Tears streamed down my face. That's it. I'm never going back to that school again. I managed to persuade my parents to let me change schools. I just need a new start. I want to go somewhere where no one knows me. Somewhere I can just make a new life for myself.
But even if you change schools, Sarah, you will still be the same height.
No, I have an idea.
What idea?
So I've been doing some research on the internet and, okay, look what I found. I showed my mom the website that I'd found. It shows you here how you can make a special kind of suit, kind of like a robot thing. I can wear it every day when I go to school, and people will think that I'm normal height, just like them.
I don't know, Sarah. Are you sure this is what you want to do?
Definitely. Please say you'll help me.
Okay then, if you're absolutely sure.
Thank you, Mom. My parents both helped me to make the suit. I was really nervous when it came to the time to try it on, but as soon as I stepped inside, I instantly felt happy. I looked in the mirror. It's amazing. No one would ever guess that I'm only 4 feet tall. Now, everyone will treat me normally instead of focusing on my height. My first day at my new school was fantastic. It might sound strange to you, but the best thing was I could walk down a corridor without anyone noticing me. It was as if I didn't even exist. I had never felt that feeling before. Usually everywhere I went, people pointed and whispered about me, but now there was nothing about me for them to talk about. I settled in really quickly and soon made some new friends. Everything was so much easier now that I looked exactly the same as everyone else. But then, it all went wrong. The first time I saw Martin was at the school canteen. He was sitting with his friends and they were laughing and joking around. He looked up and caught my eye, and then he gave me a beaming smile and winked at me. I looked away shyly. But then I glanced back and he was still staring at me, so I smiled back.
Hey, come and join us.
I looked behind me to make sure he wasn't talking to someone else, but I realized it was me he was asking. Oh, thanks, yeah. I went over to their table and they made room for me to sit down next to Martin.
You're new here, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been here for a couple of weeks.
What's your name?
Sarah.
I'm Martin. So, Sarah, do you have a boyfriend?
No, I don't.
Perfect.
I could feel my cheeks turning bright red. Is he flirting with me?
So, what do you say we go out on a date?
Oh my god, he was flirting with me. Oh, yeah, that would be great. Martin and I soon became an item. I loved walking down the street with him, my hand in his hand. It was so nice to not look like an odd couple. But the more time that I spent with Martin, the harder it was to keep my secret. One time he suggested that we go swimming, but there was no way I could swim in my suit. It wasn't waterproof, and the last thing I needed was it to start filling up with water, so I made up some excuse, and thankfully Martin accepted it. But another time, he almost caught me. It was Saturday morning, and Martin had told me that he was going to play soccer with his friends. I was sitting in the lounge watching TV when I heard a tap on the window. I turned around, and I saw Martin standing there.
Surprise!
My heart started beating madly. Luckily, I was sitting on the couch so he couldn't see how tall I was, but I knew that if I stood up, he would see straight away that I was so small. I could feel the panic starting to build up inside of me.
Come on then, aren't you gonna let me in?
Yeah, of course. Just go around the back door though, because I don't have the key for the front door. As soon as Martin was out of sight, I jumped up and ran to the kitchen. Mom, quick, you have to help me. Martin's here. I grabbed the suit and I jumped into it. My mom had just got the zip down when Martin knocked on the door. I went and I opened it.
Hi.
Hi. I thought you were playing soccer with your friends.
No, it got canceled, so I thought I'd come and surprise you. Aren't you glad to see me?
Oh yeah, what a lovely surprise. I could see my mom rolling her eyes and shaking her head. She had warned me that I should be honest with Martin about my height.
If he loves you, he will love you no matter how tall you are.
I just can't risk it, Mom. He doesn't need to know. But I knew that later on, I would be getting a lecture from my mom. I could just hear her now.
See, I told you. You should have been honest. One day he will catch you out.
But for now, I was just happy that I'd managed to get into the suit and not let Martin see my real height. Maybe I'll have to tell him one day, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. After that, months went by without any other mishaps. I began to forget all about that day, and I just enjoyed my relationship with Martin. So anyway, what do you want to do for your birthday?
I'm going to have a party.
Oh, wow, that sounds great.
Yeah, my mom said I can invite all my friends over on Saturday night.
Does that include me?
Of course it does. You're number 1 on the list.
I smiled at Martin. I was so lucky to have him as my boyfriend. He always put me first. Saturday night arrived and I put my best dress on over my suit. When I got to Martin's house, there were already quite a few people there. I knocked on the door and a few seconds later, Martin opened it.
Wow, Sarah, you look absolutely stunning.
Thank you. Happy birthday. I went into the room. The party was already in full swing. The music was loud and everyone looked like they were having lots of fun.
Wait here, I'll go get you a drink.
Okay.
Sarah, come and dance!
My friends were all dancing on the other side of the room, so I went and joined them.
I love this song!
Yeah, me too. We were having so much fun dancing and singing that I didn't notice one of Martin's friends was sitting on a chair with his long legs sticking out. As I spun around, I suddenly tripped right over and went sprawling across the floor. As I fell, my suit got caught on the edge of the chair and ripped straight off my body, revealing my true height. I looked up and I saw Martin coming back into the room. When he saw that I was on the floor, he came running over. But then, suddenly he stopped dead in his tracks and just stared at me. Everyone else just stopped what they were doing. It was as if the world had stopped for a few seconds. But then the whole place erupted and people were screaming and pointing. Some people looked petrified as they scrambled to get out of the house. In a matter of minutes, the place had emptied. The only people left were Martin and me.
Why, Sarah? Why the pretense?
I didn't think that you would like me if you knew I was this short. Martin looked so sad.
You lied to me. How can I ever trust you again?
I'm sorry.
I think you'd better go.
I picked up my suit and left the house, and you probably think that I should have been prepared for Martin's reaction. But I wasn't. I'd been living such a fantastic life that I'd almost forgotten that I was living a lie. The next day, when I went to school, I wore my suit as usual, but no one spoke to me. Every one of my friends gave me the cold shoulder. When I saw Martin, I went straight up to him. I know you don't like me anymore because I'm short.
It's not that. It's because you lied to me. I couldn't care less if you're short.
I don't believe you.
It's true.
The next day, I decided to see if Martin was really telling the truth. I went to school without my suit on. Of course, everyone stared at me, but I held my head high and walked down the corridor. When I got to the lockers, I could see Martin standing there. As soon as he saw me, he gave me a big smile and held my hand. I am so sorry I lied to you. I just didn't want to lose you.
It's okay, I understand. You're not going to lose me.
Really? Do you really mean that?
I love you, Sarah, tall or short.
At first, it wasn't easy coping with the stares again, but eventually, with Martin's help, I became more and more confident. And then something amazing happened. I got picked up for a documentary series about my unique life. Now I work as an influencer. I help people to feel good about themselves. This is your body for the rest of your life. You have a choice to either love it or hate it. If you're gonna be stuck in it forever, you might as well love it, right? As well love it, right? As well love